Sounds good. Well, good afternoon, everyone. Anthony Gambale here. We're on our Dreams Business Cloud training. I moved the time and same day, but I moved it up 30 minutes. I'm going to be doing group benefits for Dreams. So the training is at 11 Eastern time. So 11:30 is no longer viable for me to do Dreams Business Cloud training. So if you're watching this video and you're wondering, whoa, what happened? The new time is 11 p.m. Eastern time on a Tuesday. If you're on the West Coast, it's going to be 12 p.m. rather. On the West Coast, it's going to be 9 a.m. Okay, so just bear that in mind. We're going to cover calendar, getting your calendar synced in here with Go High Level, setting up your calendar, and we'll also talk a little bit about forms. As you're building websites, you're also going to want to, have forms as well. So let's just go into the settings first and make sure that your current calendar is synced. So you're going to go, what you can do is go down here where it says integrations, right? So it's on the settings tab. It's going to be integrations, okay? And then you're going to integrate. This is where you integrate everything. As you can see here, there's a bunch of stuff going on here. Like, whoa, look at all that stuff, right? Right now, we're going to just be talking about the calendar. So everything I do is off my Gmail calendar, right? Gmail is my root calendar, and then everything communicates with Gmail, okay? And then Gmail tells every other calendar that what's going on. So I have multiple calendars in here with Go High Level. I don't know, there's maybe 8 or 10 of them, but they all connect to Gmail. So when one calendar says an appointment was made Tuesday at 5 p.m., right, on a calendar, it tells Gmail, and then Gmail will say this spot is no longer available. And then if anyone tries to click on it from another calendar, that time frame will be no longer available. Okay, so I like Gmail. It's my preferred calendar. I've tried others and they're cumbersome. Outlook is just no. I'm no. Gmail seems to be the one I like the best. So now you're going to click manage. This is relatively easy. You're going to add new. I'm not going to do it because it's going to, well, I could click add new. And then you're going to connect your Gmail calendar. Boom. You click connect, follow the bouncing ball. It'll do everything automatically, right? And then you're done and you'll be good. Okay. So let's go back to integrations again. Back here. I also want to show you one
You
other
know what,
thing.
Anthony? I'm looking on my cloud.
Hmm.
Why does it say integrations? It goes from external tracking to
Hmm.
private integrations, and then conversation providers. So is that something I'd have to have somebody turn on for me?
Maybe. I'm not really sure. We'll take a look at yours once we stop recording and we'll see what's going on there.
Okay.
Okay. So let's see if one other thing is here. Let me just look here. Okay, so let's go back to so there's two places you're going to see calendars, right? You're going to see this calendar, which is your main calendar, right? Which is not in the settings. This is going to be whatever calendar you're connected to. Mine is my Gmail calendar, so you can see what's going on here. What you need to now go to create a calendar, right? You need to go to the settings. You'll see there'll be another calendar in settings, and that is where you're going to create a calendar. Okay, so I have multiple calendars here, as you can see, and they're all designed to do a different task, right? It's not one calendar for everything. So let's look into something that's, let's say here. So here's a calendar for teachers or retirement calendar. Let's just do this one here. Now, if you want to do a logo, you can put a logo in here for your calendar. Okay, if you want it square or whatever. When you click on it, it'll tell you what the parameters of the logo. you're going to name the calendar. Okay, it's important to name a calendar specific to whatever it is you want that calendar to be. As you see, I had a bunch of them there. If I didn't name them, I'd be like, oh my God, I can't remember what calendar is what, right? So make sure that you name the calendar to whatever the task is going to be. And I'll show you that once I go into the main. And then create a little description as to what the calendar is all about. Okay. And then this is going to be the part of the URL. Okay. This is in a group calendar. Okay. I'll show you what that is. And these are the colors that jive with Gmail. Okay. So you could color code your calendars for certain things, right? Green can be R&D, orange can be FICA, a, 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 a quick consultation could be blue, whatever you want to do, and that's the color that will display in your Gmail, right? Because Gmail has all these colors. And then at a glance, once you remember which colors you designated for each individual task, you'll know what you got coming up quickly by looking at your calendar. So that's just another way of being organized. So when you go into that meeting, you know what you're going in for. Like, I can't remember what this meeting's about. Oh, that's a blue meeting. It's a purple meeting. It's an orange meeting. I know what it is. Okay. So then so now you're going to go down to who is going to be on that, right? And it's going to be me. And that's done in the in the staff, under my staff. Okay. So I'm the only one. I think Teresa Jewel is there. Yeah. So there's a few people there, but I am the one. Make sure that you choose yourself. Okay. Meeting location. Okay. I have my Zoom connected. As you can see there, I've got all kinds of options where I'm going to meet this individual. If it's a quick phone call, let's just say it's going to be just like a 10-minute consultation meeting, then you select phone and you put the phone number in there, and then that's where the meeting will be. And then the email that gets sent out to that individual, okay, will let them know that it's going to be a phone meeting. If it's Zoom, you'll connect your Zoom. If it's Google Meet, if it's Microsoft Teams, which I don't like Microsoft Teams. I do not like it.
Neither
It's
do I. Can
it's
you,
too
Anthony, can you
complicated.
add other things like if we're doing a meeting or doing pitch or something like that? Some other
Just
presentation?
what's in this list.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay, gotcha.
that's currently what you can do, and then you just pull that that zoom in or whatever. You can pull that in. So that's done.
Right.
Now you go down to your availability. Okay, and you click on that. These are the times and dates that this calendar. Each calendar could have its own availability times, right? Depending on what let's say you want to do 15-minute phone call consultations only between the hours of 6 and 8 or whatever, right? And then you just go in here, you hit edit, and you make them for whatever time and day you want to do. And if a day's unavailable, you just unselect it so you can make those times and dates specific to that. Okay. If it's a recurring meeting, I don't have recurring meetings, so not a big deal. Booking rules. Okay. This is your buffer. Okay. You don't want to have 3 meetings at the top of the hour. Um, if one meeting goes late 5 minutes, it's just a cascade failure. And meetings always run late, okay, especially if they're client meetings. So meeting interval, the duration of the meeting, this particular is an hour, okay? How far out do you want the calendar to be displayed? I typically do 20 days or 15 days. I don't want it, out 2 months because no one's going to be there, right? Even 20 days is out the outer range, outermost range. 12-minute notice to reschedule, 12 hours rather. What that means is if you're meeting with someone, say at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, right? They can't cancel it at noon or try to reschedule at noon because it's only 3 hours away, right? It's got to be 12 hours that gives you time to make an adjustment. Buffer time, 30 minutes. Have a 30-minute buffer time in this calendar. What that means is the it won't do back to back. If I have a meeting at 1, right, and it's a 60-minute, and this is a 60-minute, it's not going to book another meeting at 2, right? It'll be 2:30 will be the next option that opens up. It gives me a buffer of however many minutes, I want. Maximum bookings per day. Again, if this calendar is for a specific thing that you don't want your whole calendar to be filled up with that task, you can say, I only want 2 or 3 of these types of meetings per day. Okay, remember your calendar is specific to, it's not one calendar that everything filters in, and then when you get in there, you don't know what you're doing, right? Why am I meeting with this person? The calendar is going to tell you why you're meeting with this person, right? And of course, maximum bookings per slot, 1. Then you go into forms. Okay, if you've created a form, you can create a form. Don't worry about payments because we don't have any payments connected here. I'm going to get too deep into the weeds. Now, this is important here. These is the notification that an appointment has been set, booked, canceled, changed, or needs to be rescheduled. Okay, so in this one here, this is an appointment that's been booked. So someone went onto your website, they booked a meeting. I want to meet with you. You're such a great person. How are you going to be notified about that meeting, right? In app means that it's in the app. Okay, so I want to be emailed. So I'm gonna go like this. Did this specific. It's disabled. I want to enable a contact. The guest, everyone's going to get emailed. So I'm going to save that. So if it is, once it's confirmed, again, who's going to get this email? So we're going to enable it, just a contact, right? Actually, we could say the guest is, if there is a guest. And here is the email, what each individual person is going to get. Contact is the individual who made the appointment, right? Whatever, you can change this language to whatever it is. If you don't know what to say, you know what you do? You go into ChatGPT and you say, I have an email. I created a calendar for this event. Tell it what the event is going to be, right? And then you're going to say, I want to, in the notifications portion of it, I want to send out email notifications to the contact, right? The assigner, the guest, any additional emails. Please compose a calendar notification emails to those individuals. And then it'll go bloop, 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 bloop. It'll create those emails for you. If you like them, then you go in there and you paste them in here and you hit save changes and you're done. All your email notifications are good and ready to go. Now, if this person cancels, who wants to be known? You better enable everyone gets an email if it cancels, right? Again, if you click on it, you can see what this is the default cancellation. Save the changes. And then of
Hey, but
course,
wouldn't that would only be to the person that's doing the inviting, which would be me, right? It's not going out to everybody.
it'll go to everyone on that list.
Oh,
Everyone
really?
who's part of that email. So
Okay.
or part of that calendar invite. So the person who the prospect or the client, right? They canceled it, so they're going to get a notification that's canceled. You will get a notification that it's canceled. Okay. What if they go in and say 2 o'clock doesn't work for me? Next Wednesday, it's actually 3 o'clock. I need to change it, reschedule. Right. So make sure your rescheduling is enabled. Again, if you want to change the language, there's your language, right? You can change that. Again, go into ChatGPT, create a rescheduling link or verbiage. You can use what's here, the default. It's very simple and bland, but if you want something more, save the changes. Save, okay? So now that's saved. Reminders, okay? Reminders are important, very, very, very important. Uh, click on that, enable, everyone's gonna get a reminder again. When do you want this reminder to go out? How long before the the meeting? 10 minutes is too short. It's too short, right? Usually 90 minutes is probably a good base,
Right.
because most people aren't like looking at their they're not looking at their emails that intensely. So 90 minutes, again, if you don't like the language here, we know that we know what to do. Save the changes. Changes are saved, close. And follow-up message, we don't really need it. That's after the meeting here. So allow meetings. So now we're going into the rescheduling and the canceling of a meeting. So this person can reschedule this meeting how long before the meeting? 1 hour, 2 hours, one day, whatever, however many minutes. So 1 hour is fine. Cancellation, 1 hour, right? However you choose in this particular calendar. And then your third part, here's where your calendar is going to be in here. And then we're going to hit save changes. Okay, and then we're going to go back out to the calendars again. So that is done. Okay, now let's go back out to the calendar. Actually, I want to go to, yeah, so there's two logos, right? So there's a calendar logo, and then there is a logo for the actual calendar itself. So there's actually two places to put a logo. So let me go back out to here, and let's do right here how many works. That's that one. So there's two links. Okay, one link is a slug. Okay, so you can see bookings, how many works. And below it is a permanent link. So when should you use each individual one? If it's going to be in a website, okay, or something that is not going to change, you're going to use the permanent link, right? If this calendar is going to be on a web page or something that or in automation, right, and that's going to pretty much stay, that's the one you're going to use. Okay, so there's your this one here is just the top one. If you just want to send, someone says, I want to meet with you, when are you available? You could grab the top one and text that to them, right? Because it's going to be used, that they're going to click on that link relatively quickly, right, within a day or two or whatever. Okay, embed code, what this is, since we're here, if you're creating a website, okay, you can grab all this gobbledygook here and you could paste it into a website. It doesn't necessarily need to be a Go High Level website, right? Because you're using HTML. If you have a website out there in the world and it's not here and you want to put a calendar link, you can use this and that calendar will show up on that website. Okay, and now everything
Okay.
will be into Go High Level. Okay. So now let's go back here. So you can see they all have names. So you have multiple here that here's a 15-minute discovery call, right? I think I have another one on this page. Here's another 15-minute, two totally different discovery calls, right? One is to meet with an individual about personal planning. One is business planning, right? I've got, so they're all different. Now let's go into groups. So I've got Meet with Anthony group, okay, and I've got a dreams group. So there's different groups, and within those groups, let me go back out to, hold on a second here, non-groups. Let's go into, let me go view, let's go look at this one. I'm going to grab this copy here. I'm going to throw it in the chat. Now you can see here, this is a group meeting and it's, so someone comes into my, into my group here. Why is that? What are they looking to accomplish? Is it, is it introduction? If it's a client, policy review. If they're a teacher, or an educator, they'll click on this one. Here's a 30-minute strategy consult. Indexing, this is an IUL or an annuity review. This is just a 60-minute consultation, right? 15 minutes. There's all different ones, but each one of these also has a an individual link that that somebody could, click on. So let's go back here. Let's go back here. And here's my dreams one. Share that one so you can get an idea. I'll grab that permit one. Let's see here. I probably should clean my calendars up here. So I've got a 30, here's a dream scroll consultation. Here's an R&D consult. Here's just a discovery call, which is, I don't know if or when or how I can help you. Let's have a quick conversation and
Right.
see how it goes. So I click on that, and that's exactly what it says here. All right, boom, boom, boom. It talks a little bit about tax credits or what we can possibly do. They schedule it, select, and they can choose. Okay, I gave this because it's a 15-minute consult. Okay,
Right.
they may be gun shy on a Zoom, so don't always make it only Zoom. Make it also, give them the option to just be a phone or or a Zoom. Either one is fine. It doesn't make a difference. So it's just a quickie call, And
Mhm.
again, they can provide content. Make sure you have the confirmation button here, and schedule meeting. Good to go. Okay, so that is kind of the whole thing with calendars. So if you go back into your regular calendars, here's, let's see what these are, different rooms. Okay, non-grouped. Go back to, one second, where's my main calendar? I think they're kind of wonky on me. Okay, here we go. So if you like, you can duplicate or clone a calendar. Let's say you have a, let's say, R&D tax credits and FICA tax credits, and they're pretty identical, right? But you want to have a different calendar for each one, right? You can go to this dot here and you could duplicate that calendar,
Mhm.
and then you just rename it. And then now you have two calendars. Make any changes that you need to make to the calendar, and then you'll be good to go. So let me go
Well, tell,
into,
tell me again, man, because maybe I lost it. How in the hell do you keep these things from conflicting? Um, as people are looking at the calendars, or
well, they're
they
only going to look at, so they're all going to connect to your calendar.
okay,
Okay.
and that
So
that's
and
that's where the
so that
filter takes
yeah,
place.
that's the main hub, right? They're all gonna all roads lead to Rome, right? So Rome is your
Got
female
you.
calendar, right? So all these roads here are gonna lead. They're all looking at that one calendar. They're all just constantly looking at that calendar. So when
Okay,
it doesn't matter which, I could have 5 million calendars, but they're all going to connect to that one Gmail, right? So
okay.
it's a shootout race to a slot, like an old
To get to the
gunfighters,
slots.
right?
Okay,
Whoever gets to that spot, eventually as you get busier and busier, um,
right,
they'll have less and less options, right? You may have to go out a little further.
right. But you've already dictated which slots are available when you
Yeah,
started setting
within,
the times.
exactly
So they're
correct.
not going to fill in those slots. That they'll fight for whatever's remaining.
That is exactly right. That
Okay,
is
okay,
exactly right.
yeah, that makes sense.
So here's the thing now. Let's talk a little bit about, this is a little bit advanced, and this works for both calendars and forms. Okay, let's say you're building an HTML website. Okay, I started doing that, building full HTML, and not the not an actual plug and play website like they have here or a template where you just kind of move things over. It's actual
Mhm.
code. It's all code. Okay.
Okay.
And you want to put uh, um, a calendar in there or a form. And it must be a new calendar and a new form. Okay. I ran into this with forms. So I'm assuming calendars are the same way. Uh, And the reason why is the HTML is going to look at it, it's going to look at the original form that's what happened to me with forms. So we're going to go into forms now. So let's go into forms. That's under emails. It's under, let me get out of this one here. It's on marketing. Right, where is forms? Trying to remember now. I thought it was under, hold on a second. It is under, it's not under, I think it's under sites, isn't it? Yeah, it's under sites. Yeah, okay. Get brain dead after a while looking at this stuff. So forms, let me go into here. Okay, so forms are a bunch of different things, right? It could be just a general easy form. It could be information that you're gathering or whatever whatever you're looking to. So let me just show you what I'm talking about. Let me go into my forms. Let's see here. These are dream scores. I think I have. Here we go. Again, create forms. Whatever you're doing, you create a folder with your name because look at all these forms in here. Let me tell you, there's 23. Look at, you get lost with all these forms, right? So
I
you
can.
have to create a folder with your own forms or anything that you create. This way, you just go to your name and all these forms are forms that you created, and you don't have to worry about looking into all these here. Okay, so let me just give you an idea of a more, I think this is a dream score calendar form. Yep. So here's a my dream score calendar, right? This is on a website that I created. Let me go back out
Mhm.
to this one. Um, these are webinars that I've done. Let's see here. I thought I had one that had like, let's see, webinar registration, business opt-in. Let's see what this one is. I think this one may be a little bit more. Oh, no, it's relatively easy. Okay. So here is the how you build a form. Let's kind of do it from scratch. Just we're going to create a form. We've got two options here. Okay. Option A is I can build it from scratch using the pull and drag,
Mhm.
or I can look at a template and use one of the templates that they created. Okay, so let's do it from scratch because that's the probably the most time consuming, if you will. Okay, so this is what's here now. They give you a just a standard kind of a form here. If you're using A2P, this is a good idea. It's got privacy terms. Okay, what information are you gathering? First name, last name, phone, email. It's pretty much of a standard. Now these here, you can change. You see that the language of these, and you should change these. Okay,
Right.
by put your where it says business name. They're talking about you. Whatever your A2P registration is, that goes
Yeah.
there. John
Oh,
Smith, whatever. Right. About what? What is this? What is this form on? Right? Is this whatever this form is representing? That is what you put in that second bolded area about a webinar, whatever, group benefits, whatever it is that the purpose is for them, the purpose of this form, whatever it's going to do, whatever that action is going to be,
mhm.
you state that there.
Yeah, but you
Okay.
only got to do it one time. You don't have to do it every time
You
you
just do it
decide.
right. You're going to do it right there, right here on this form, right in that little
Okay.
spot that's bolded and in
Gotcha.
those
Makes
brackets.
sense.
And
Uh-huh.
then on the bottom, you're going to do the same thing. Your business name is going to go here.
Uh-huh.
Okay. And then
Okay.
you're going to save that. And of course, you're going to have a terms and conditions page. There's nothing here. Okay. There's nothing here. So, if you on the web somewhere in your system, you're going to have a privacy policy and a terms and conditions posted.
Yeah.
And then you're going to put that link here for each one of those, and then you're good to go. Okay. You're always going
Okay.
to use that. Okay. So let's say if you want something else on here, you just drag it over. You just drag it over. So what other things can we do here that's not there already? We've got a button. Uh, let's see here. Terms and conditions is there. File an image. Let's say you want to put an image on here for whatever. You throw an image. Grab this. You drag it over. You put an
Hmm.
image, and then you just upload an image from your image library.
Yeah.
Right? You just upload the image. Or if you don't like it, you get rid of it. Okay. Now we've got how do we want this thing to look now? Right? It kind of looks kind of bland. So now you
Hmm.
go to the right, and then you could change some things, right? We can go into the themes. These are themes.
Hmm.
Mind you, if you switch to a theme from here, it's going to erase all the stuff that you did here, right?
Oh,
Because
really?
yeah. So if you say, oh, I like this theme. Wow, that's kind of neat. I'm gonna change it. It's gonna pull that theme in, and you have to re-type in everything you typed in here. So
Okay. So how do we
just bear that.
avoid that?
Yeah. So go to the themes first. If you think this looks kind of bland, go
Uh-huh.
into the themes and say, okay, watch what it'll tell you. Let's just use this theme just for quick. Switching to themes will result in loss of your current styles and modifications. So it'll tell you
Okay.
that. Okay.
Gotcha.
So now we want to stay with this. We go here, and here's where you can start making some changes, right? Just playing with, the various different fonts and stuff like that. So
Hmm.
here's the form, is your width, dotted lines, border. Do you want a
Hmm.
border? Yeah, we'll do a solid border. Border color, just make it black. Now you see it, it just went black around the
Hmm.
border,
Yeah, I see it. Uh-huh.
right? And now we're going to go down to, these are different fields. Shadow color, there's no shadow color, but I'm just going to put one in here just to give you an idea of a shadow color. You see that?
Gotcha. Uh-huh.
Now they got shadow around the names.
Right.
Or if you don't like those colors, you just click add. And you could just
Ah,
slide it
okay.
around. Okay. So now we don't want any blurs. What else can we do here? Now this is the form itself. That's black. Label, placeholder. That looks good. That looks good. Styles show, we don't have any images. This is how it's going to display. Is your background colors. Let's say, it's white. It's kind of bland. I really would like it to be shaded gray or something like that. So just go like
Hmm.
that.
Okay.
And now it's shaded gray, right? Because you just added that color. And so now it doesn't look so, blasé or bland, right?
Right.
These are
But
text colors.
if you choose the theme first, then you can add all the rest of the stuff to that themed
Yeah,
one.
exactly right.
Okay. Gotcha.
So
Gotcha.
if
Okay.
if you don't like the blue color button, you can go
Uh-huh.
in and change the
Mhm.
change that. The layout looks all good. Now, when you go into a form, let's say this form is on a website, and then you go in here and you change it, it'll
Yeah.
automatically update to the what the website will automatically update to that form,
Okay.
however you change it. So now you save it, and obviously you're going to name the form, right? You got to name things.
Right. So you don't get confused.
Yeah, you will get confused, believe me. So it all looks good. Now you're going to save it. Okay, now we're going to talk about integration. So I want to put this I want to open embed. Okay, so here is my embed code. Okay, this is uh, the gobbledygook, if you will, right?
Okay.
I'm gonna put it in a way that you can see it here. I just throw it in Notepad here. Always do your coding in Notepad
Hmm.
if you're gonna use coding. So that is what your form looks like to the computer brain. Okay.
Gotcha.
Now, if you create it, if you want to use the same type of form on a different website and you want to track the results and you copy the form, it's gonna this root form that you use, that embed code is what it's going to pull in. I had that issue with a website. I couldn't get the right form to display, even though because I copied it from another form. I copied it from a root form, and
Okay.
I couldn't get the right form to display. I couldn't figure out why. And then I just created a form from scratch, and it worked. Okay, so
Oh, good.
as long as you are not, you don't if you want to track a form, you definitely want a form to display on a website and go in. And the reason why I do this is if you're doing automations, you want to know where, where that lead or that contact came in from.
Right.
And if you're using the same form in four different places, you have no idea which one is actually working. Let's say
Right.
you did something in Facebook, you did something on LinkedIn, you did something on Craigslist, and then you did something on another platform,
Hmm.
and you're getting all these leads coming in. If they're all from that same form, you have no idea that Facebook was the one that's working and the other ones are not,
Okay.
right? So that's why you want to have you know, a dedicated form when you're tracking stuff. I don't need that. I can don't say it. I don't need
So,
this.
but Anthony, let me get that straight. I understand you don't want to use this, say, like say this form, this gobbledygook right here.
Mhm.
If I put it in four different places, then I won't know
Yeah,
where that is
yeah, it's
coming
all
from.
gonna exactly right. You want to have a separate form for each one. So let's say this is the form I'm going to use,
Right.
but it's going to be in Facebook. It's going to be, four different places. You're going to name the form whatever you're doing.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah. So it's the
Face,
same
it'll be
form, but
Facebook
you're
topic,
right.
Facebook
Exactly.
topic,
Okay.
and then you're going to go and recreate the form from scratch again. You're not going to go into, let me just save it just for, let me go back out here. Let's go back into mine. That's test. Here it is right here.
Hmm.
If you do this and you duplicate the form, you're going to do it. It's going to be the same HTML,
Okay. Got you. Got
right?
you.
It's going to be the same HTML. And we don't want that. You're going to have
All
to
right.
do four separate forms for each different one.
Okay. So
And
you've got to create a form for each platform
for each topic that you're going to do.
or for each topic. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
So if you look at mine here, see, here's a registration. It's the same exact form. It looks the same.
Uh-huh.
I've got an R&D one. I've got an IUL registration form. I've got uh, here's another webinar registry. They all look identical, but they're
Right.
different. They're
Okay.
the
Got you.
root of them is different.
Got
Okay, so that is the thing when it comes to forms and calendars, and
you. Okay.
you need to kind of know what you're doing, especially if you're going to
Yeah, you got to go back there and play with that stuff though, man.
play with
Because
that
it's
stuff.
like,
Yeah.
yeah. Because I'm saying one point I was like, what in the world is he talking about, man? But it's actually though, Anthony is simple. Yes, it's sort of simple if you follow like what it's supposed to do, right?
Yeah.
How you put it together is where you really get that. That's the nuts. That's the stuff that messes you up. And you say, okay, well, I want this form to be over here. So if
Mhm.
somebody should sign up, I'll know where they're going, or I want to have this email response to something, or
Yep.
email, all that stuff. So
Exactly
yeah,
right.
it's pretty much a familiarization that has to take place.
So I'll show you what I was talking about here. So here's a funnel that I created, right?
Okay.
That's what it looks like, right? But if you go into edit, right? There's only the HTML here. Here's the website.
Hmm. Wow.
It's 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 this,
Okay. Gotcha.
right? Now my
Yeah.
old one, just to give you if I went into my old one, this is my new recruiting funnel. If I go to my old to this one and I click on it, it looks like a website right from here. See, here's
Yeah.
my language, here's my forms, right?
Right.
Now I just do I created an HTML now using AI. I tell it what I'm looking to do,
Hmm.
and it makes the code, and then I paste the code in, and I kind of go on from there. I'm going to stop the recording since we're off topic here.